The story takes place in Element City, a vibrant, diverse place that's home to 4 different elemental groups: fire, water, earth, and air. Each of these communities has its own customs, neighborhoods, and way of life. The city itself is colorful and energetic, like a huge mix of cultures all living together. But despite that, it's not exactly a place where everyone gets along. It might look united on the outside, but there's still a lot of division underneath. Out of all the communities, the fire people have it the toughest. They live on the outskirts of Element City, in a place called Firetown. They're often misunderstood and not always welcomed by the rest of the city. It's in this part of town that we meet our main character, Ember Lumen.
Oh. Welcome, my Ember, to your new life.
Ember is a fire element who was born and raised in Firetown. Her parents, Bernie and Cinder, are immigrants who came from their homeland, Fireland, hoping to start fresh and build a better life in Element City. They opened a shop that became the heart of their community, and Bernie especially takes a lot of pride in what they've built. Growing up, Ember watched her dad work hard every day to serve their neighborhood. She always looked up to him, and it's been her dream to take over the shop someday and continue the legacy.
Someday, the shop will all be mine.
When you are ready.
But there's one big challenge. Ember has a bit of a temper. Okay, a lot of a temper.
No, just give me one for free! That's not how this works!
And when she gets upset or overwhelmed, her fire literally flares out of control. That makes dealing with customers kind of a disaster sometimes. Still, Ember keeps pushing herself. She wants so badly to make her parents proud and prove that she can handle running the store on her own. Even though things don't always go smoothly, her heart is in the right place. And it's from this point that her journey really begins. Now let's talk about Wade Ripple. He's a water element and works as a city inspector in Element City. But what really makes Wade stand out is his personality. He's incredibly sensitive, wears his heart on his sleeve. And honestly, he cries at everything. But that's what makes him so lovable. He's not afraid to show how he feels, and he really cares deeply about the people around him. Wade and Ember meet in a pretty unexpected and chaotic way. One day, Ember loses her temper while working in her family's shop, and in the heat of the moment, she accidentally bursts a pipe. That one little outburst sets off a chain reaction, and the pressure from the broken pipe ends up launching Wade through the city's plumbing system, literally. He shoots through the pipes and crashes straight into the shop, soaking wet and totally confused. At first, Ember's like, "Who is this guy?" And Wade? He's just trying to do his job. But then, things get worse. While looking around, Wade notices that Ember's family shop has all kinds of building code violations. As a city inspector, he's supposed to report them, and doing that could mean the shop would be shut down for good. Ember, understandably, panics. This shop isn't just a business. It's her family's legacy, everything her parents worked for. So she chases after Wade through the city, desperate to stop him from turning in the report and destroying everything they've built. But here's where things start to shift. What began as a conflict, these two totally different people clashing, turns into something more. Ember and Wade are complete opposites. She's fire, he's water. She's hot-tempered and guarded, he's emotional and open. But instead of those differences keeping them apart, they actually help each other grow, especially as they work together to stop a flood in Element City caused by a ship passing through the canals. Eventually, they fall in love and support each other in pursuing their individual dreams. As they spend more time together, Wade encourages Ember to look at her life in a different way. He sees how hardworking and passionate she is, but he also notices how much pressure she's under. He gently asks questions, listens, and shows her that maybe she doesn't have to follow the exact path her parents laid out for her. For the first time in her life, Ember starts to ask herself whether the shop is really what she wants, or if she is just trying to make her parents proud, even if it means giving up her own dreams. Wade doesn't push her, he supports her, and that's what makes their connection so special. It's not just a love story between fire and water, it's about self-discovery, finding your own voice, and realizing that sometimes the person who seems completely different from you can actually be the one who helps you figure out who you really are. For Ember, Her identity is deeply connected to her family, especially her dad. Her father, Bernie, gave up everything to come to Element City. He left behind his home, his life, and everything familiar to him just to give his family a better future. To Ember, the shop isn't just a business. It's a symbol of her dad's sacrifices. Taking it over isn't just a plan, it feels like a promise. She believes she owes it to him to carry on what he started. That's why falling for Wade complicates everything. Their relationship seems impossible, not just because of society's expectations, but because of how different they are, even physically. Still, even though they come from completely different worlds, Wade makes Ember feel something she's never felt before, truly seen, truly accepted. But Ember's scared of choosing a different path, scared of disappointing her parents. So even though it hurts, she breaks up with Wade. Not because she doesn't love him, but because she still thinks that making her parents proud means giving up what she wants and living the life they dreamed for her. Then comes a big moment. Ember is about to officially take over the family shop in a ceremony that means the world to her parents. But just before she steps into that role, Wade shows up. In front of everyone, her family, her neighbors, the whole community, he pours his heart out. He confesses his love for her and brings everything into the open, their relationship, the leak in the shop, and how it was actually Ember who caused it.
I love you, Ember Lumen. And I'm pretty sure you love me too.
And even though she clearly still loves him, she turns him down. Not because she wants to, but because she's still stuck in that mindset, thinking that she has to sacrifice her happiness to honor her family's legacy. But then everything changes. The dam that they had sealed earlier to protect Firetown suddenly bursts. A massive flood comes crashing down, threatening to destroy everything. Even though Wade was ready to leave town after being rejected, the second he sees the flood, he runs straight back. All he cares about is making sure Ember is safe. He finds her, and together they try to save the Blue Flame, an important symbol for Ember's family that represents their heritage. In the middle of all the chaos, Wade sacrifices himself to save her and the flame. And in that heartbreaking moment, Ember hugs him tightly and finally tells him that she loves him, holding on as he slowly evaporates in her arms.
I'm sorry I didn't say it before. I love you, Wade.
She is crushed. She believes Wade is gone forever. And that moment of loss pushes her to finally speak her truth. She tells her parents that she doesn't want to take over the shop. She tells them she loved Wade.
I needed to tell you the truth. I don't want to run the shop. I know that was your dream, but it's not mine. I'm sorry. I'm a bad daughter.
Ember, the shop was never the dream. You were the dream. You were always the dream.
I loved him, Dad.
But then, something incredible happens. Wade isn't really gone. His vapor begins to drip from the ceiling, and Ember and her parents do everything they can to bring him back. The key was making him cry again, because Wade's emotions are always right on the surface. And finally, it works. Wade comes back, and Ember runs into his arms, and the two share a long-awaited kiss. Months later, things have changed in the best way. Bernie has retired, and the family shop is now being run by trusted friends. Ember and Wade, now happily together, leave Element City so Ember can start her glassmaking internship, following her own dream for the first time in her life. This isn't just a love story between fire and water. It's a story about identity, family, and learning that honoring where you come from doesn't mean sacrificing who you are.